Brady had a season-high 3 turnovers yesterday, including a pick-6 that sealed the victory for New Orleans as the Saints won 36-27. TB12 took responsibility for the loss, telling reporters about the final play, quote, "I think I just threw it to the wrong guy. I had Mike Evans open. It cost us the game." So, Shannon, what percent of the blame do you give Brady for the loss?
90, because he handed the Saints 16 points off those 3 turnovers, Skip. And he said, and the thing is, Brady, he stood up and said, "I cost us this game" with the pick-6. He didn't play his best ball game. He took a strip sack, Skip, and it seemed like he was sitting down there like, it's like...
It wasn't a sack. It was just a strip.
Yeah, well, they pushed. Yeah. He gets Cam Jordan gets credit for a sack because anytime
the ball just got knocked loose.
So he pushed. I think it was Tristan Wirth. He pushed him back into Brady, and Brady dropped the ball. And it's just like your mind is like, "Let me get this ball," but you can't move. It's like, almost like you're frozen. And Brady was just sitting there like, "I see this ball, but I really can't get to it in time." And, you know, 16 points, Skip, off turnovers, 3 of those turnovers, and they scored. I mean, when you lose 36-27, you would have won the ball game, 27-20. And then the 2 turnovers, the pick-6 really sealed it. But I just want to know. Hold on. Was that Trevor Siemian? You mean to tell me Tom Brady can't beat Trevor Siemian?
You know, Trevor Siemian was pretty good for your Broncos. Do you remember that?
No.
He was 13-11 as a starter for your Broncos. That's pretty good. He threw 30 touchdowns, only 24 interceptions, which is not all that bad. 13-11 as a starter. So why he started a bunch of games for your Broncos?
Why isn't he still there? They've been looking for a quarterback. Now, they have Oswald. They had a lot of quarterbacks since Peyton Manning.
Well, ask John Elway why he's
No. Yeah. I'm asking why Tom Brady couldn't beat Trevor Siemian yesterday. Because what you do every time, Aaron Rodgers, he beat the immortal Caleb Haney. Caleb Haney, he beat the immortal Joe Webb, who masquerades as the Webb.
Who's better, Trevor Siemian or Joe Webb? Trevor Siemian or Caleb Haney? Help me out.
Your guy didn't beat him.
Trevor Siemian is pretty good.
Now he's pretty good. The man has bounced around. This is probably his 4th team. The man has bounced around. He beat Tom Brady. Now he's pretty good.
He was in New Orleans last year learning the system. What did Drew Brees say at halftime last night on NBC? That Sean loves him. Sean believes in him. Sean trusts him.
So why did he start with Jameis? He that good. Why didn't he remain in Denver? Why didn't he remain in the other stops that he's been at? If he's as good as what you say.
He's a very good backup quarterback.
Okay, so Tom Brady can't beat backups? I wonder if he shook his hand, because we know when he lose ball games, he don't like to run to the middle of the field and shake hands.
Was Tom Brady playing a backup defense?
Oh, you see, now it's the defense.
The Saints came in number 2 in points allowed.
Is Tom Brady
they looked yesterday like the best defense in pro football.
Is Tom Brady to go? Yes or no?
You don't have to ask me that. I need to ask you that.
Okay, no. Yeah. I'm going to get you.
Let me get your answer. Is he the GOAT?
No.
Is he the GOAT?
When it's your turn, you can ask me the question.
Well, you obviously know how I feel about it.
No, I want to hear you say it. So Tom Brady's the GOAT. He couldn't beat Trevor Siemian yesterday? The GOAT?
Couldn't beat New Orleans defense that bedeviled him all last year. Do you remember those games at New Orleans last year? Remember what happened?
Here's the thing. But you don't give them any credit. When the defense went back down to New Orleans, had the ball 4 turnovers, all you raved about was Tom Brady. In the Super Bowl, all you raved about was Tom Brady. The moment he lose, it's Coach Belichick, it's Bruce Arians, it's the defense, it's yada, yada, yada. At some point in time, I want you in Pro Football Focus to hold Tom Brady's feet to the fire with these plays. He cost them the game, period. Now your turn.
90%, says Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp's in the Hall of Fame. I am not.
90.
I'm going to tell you why I will give Tom Brady 55% of the blame today. 55-45. Let's see what happens, shall we? Again, against the number 2 defense in the Saints. And Tom Brady and company fell behind 23-7. Why was that happening? Because his vaunted run defense was giving up 152 yards rushing. You didn't mention that, did you, Mr. Sharp? 152 yards rushing against Tampa? Who does that? Nobody does that, except New Orleans did that yesterday. It's a crusher because they controlled the clock. They kept the ball away from Tom Brady, who had only 58 plays, to New Orleans 72 plays yesterday. 58-72. And what did Brady do with only 58 plays? Well, look at this. He was really good because he went 28 of 40 for 375 and 4 touchdowns.
How many plays he had?
458.
He would have had more if he didn't turn the ball over 3 times. Think about how many more plays he would have had.
Could we quickly see the touchdown passes he did throw to get them back in this game? They were down 23-7, and here came Tom Brady. This guy he was on fire yesterday.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
The first one. That was sweet. To Godwin. Here's another one. There's never been a better red zone quarterback than Tom Brady. He's now, let's see, how many do you have yesterday? I think he had 3.
3 what?
3 red zone touchdown passes.
Yeah.
So he's now 53 touchdowns to no interceptions in the red zone. That was to Cyril Grayson, the little kid from LSU, the track star.
Yeah.
And they've had to use him because Tom Brady was up against it yesterday because Gronk tried to play and couldn't. So he didn't have Gronk. He didn't have either deep speed receiver. He did not have Antonio Brown. He did not have Scotty Miller.
Scotty Miller ain't been there in 4 weeks, Skip.
And the Tampa Bay defense was still without 2 starting corners. You don't have Murphy Bunting. You don't have Carlton Davis.
Yeah.
And you're playing guys who are just guys who have bounced all around. Pierre Desir, he's on his 8th team.
Yeah.
Ross Cockrell's on his 5th team. They're just guys.
But what about the receivers for the Saints? So when did they turn into Devontae Adams? When did they turn into Tyreek Hill?
Well, they're better than the Tampa corners, I can tell you that.
Come on, Skip. I mean, look, White, the white kid that was in Chicago, the 7th pick in the draft. He's there now in New Orleans.
Yeah, and he caught a big ball yesterday.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, come on. Ross Cockrell, and what did they say on the telecast? That Sean Payton had said before the game, we're going after Ross Cockrell. Who wouldn't go after him?
Right.
Right, he's just some guy.
Oh,
right.
But whoa.
Well,
Ross Cockrell's been playing all year, and you ain't say anything.
I have. I've said about him. And Pierre Desir and D. Delaney. These are the guys they've been playing because they're without 2 guys who weren't that great to start with.
So let me ask you a question. Even though they got Ross Cockrell, even though they got D. Delaney, even though they got Desir, let me ask you a question. If Tom Brady doesn't turn the ball over, do they win or lose this game?
Okay, he made 2 mistakes, and he is mortal. He made 2 big mistakes yesterday. The first interception was not his fault. I'm going to Bruce Arians. He said that we had a mental error on the route, and I think it was Tyler Johnson. It sure looks like to me, because Tyler Johnson ran his route right in through where Brady was trying to throw the ball. That's not the man in question's defender. That's Tyler Johnson's defender who just sat down and caught the football.
But hold on, here's the thing, though.
He just ran right through it.
I get that. But how does someone that's grading that would know unless he tells? So Pro Football Focus can't say what Bruce Arians said this was a mistake. If you're grading the tape, you don't know the offense, so you don't know that.
I'm not going to give him a mistake on that one.
Yeah, he got a mistake to pick.
I will give you this. You got to be a little more protective of the ball against their pass rush, which is still hellacious. It still comes from both sides, and it is severe and relentless. And he was under fire more than usual.
He was under fire early. They settled in, and then he got going like after half for a stretch. They didn't get to him, and then once they got that pick 6, and the next 2 plays they came out, they went headhunting. They came out. They came to get him.
Okay, and again, I thought Brady put himself in harm's way with that comment he made on Monday Night Football with Peyton and Eli when he said he compared defenders to dogs who chase cars. Well, some dog chased a car right in front of his pick 6 because that was just a bad idea. Right. If we could see the pick 6 again, I thought Godwin sort of drifted more downfield than he should have. He thought he was going to square it off and run more of a crossing route. But man, you can't dare the devil here. And P.J. Williams is just sitting there, and he's the backup safety, but he was just sitting and just jumped it.
He had no choice, because here's the thing, Skip. If you go back and run this thing again, they got both crossing routes double. Look at this. They jump one, and then they jump the other on the other side. So he had no choice.
Yeah. But if you see what I mean, Godwin's he's drifting downfield. It's a square in route. It's a square cross.
With that safety over the top like that, you're not going to get that completion. No. You're not going to make that. You're not going to make that throw. You know what? You sail it over his head, and you live to see what that first down, second down, but you just live to see another day.
Okay, and he did say, I should have gone to Mike Evans, but he was reluctant to go to Mike Evans all day long. He only threw him 4 balls because he's got Lattimore on him, and they're just going nose to nose, and Brady respects Lattimore, and he fears him.
Well, hold on. You know what? Hey, DJ, we got that track because we were playing this track, Mike Evans. Mike Evans had Lattimore on him. Marshawn was doing an unbelievable job. But this is Marshawn Lattimore on Mike Evans. Now, you tell me what happened here, Skip.
I know exactly what happened. They got tangled up, and both of them, Marshawn stumbled, and Mike Evans got slowed down. They get tangled right in the middle of the route, and he lost a step, and Brady threw it on time, and it was a step long.
Interesting.
Yep.
But you know, it's funny that you say the guy should have did this and the guy should have did that. But all I know is that Mahomes has thrown 2 interceptions and the ball hit Tyreek in the hands and get carried. And you said he has to do a better job. He's gotten too loosey-goosey with the ball.
How many does he have?
He has 8. How many your guy got? 4. So don't make it seem like your guy has none. Your guy got.
Who's had the better year, Brady or Mahomes? Thank you. Case closed. Next question.
Skip, all I'm saying is that you want to give him 55%, but you gave him 80, 90% of the credit when the defense, when you saw what the defense did to Drew Brees last year. You talk about Tom Brady and the 1 or 2 throws. You see what he did. Aaron Rodgers outplayed him in Lambeau, but you talk about what Tom Brady did. Tom Brady had 3 picks, and you talk about he outthrowed him. The problem that I have is that when Tom Brady plays bad, you blame the defense. You blame everybody else but Tom. Why is that?
I just made a great case. It's 55-40. I gave him 55%, but 45 has to go to the rest of the team because do you realize they did have 11 more penalties? They were second in penalty yards coming in. They had 11 for 90's fault. That was everybody's fault around him. But it's hard to overcome 11 penalties on the road.
But here's the thing. They was getting those penalties. But long as they're winning, you didn't have a problem with that. You didn't mention the penalties. That's not